So why have I got Gabe here? So I want to talk about pre-approvals today and give everyone a little bit of an overview, because it's really topical at the moment in a strong market where there's a lot of competition. We're seeing through and we're hearing directly from the brokers that work in our mortgage broking business, Blue Mortgages, but also just from clients that come across to us at Financepath, our mortgage management business, some of the frustrations with how long it is taking to get a loan pre-approved or formal approved through the banks and sometimes via brokers as well too. So it's a really topical discussion at the moment. So I thought I'd bring Gabe in here. He's one of our, as I said, our senior credit managers within the business to talk a little bit more about it. Gabe, so when we're talking about pre-approvals, I just want to touch on to start with, what do you see are the key advantages of a client out there obtaining a pre-approval?
I think probably the biggest advantage is being able to go out there and buy with confidence and bid with confidence, particularly if you're going to an auction. And that's where it comes to the fore more so than others. So yeah, I definitely have to say that's probably the biggest. And then having no finance clause in place can make you a really attractive proposition to any vendor or real estate agent out there. And then being able to shorten or offer shorter settlement times can also be a benefit as well.
Yeah, no, definitely those last two. We've seen it a lot in the last, probably the last month or so, where clients who have been pre-approved have been able to go out and use a 30-day settlement as a real inducement to get their offer across the line comparative to others. And the finance clause one that you mentioned is definitely a huge one, mate. Exactly, as well, because the least barriers that you have to put towards your offer, and if you don't have to make yours subject to finance, and the person that you're up against is turning around saying, well, I'll even give you a little bit more money, but you know what, you haven't got it sold for another 14 days until I get my finance approved. It's definitely two of the key advantages, I agree.
And that can also, sorry to jump in, that can also give you advantage of negotiating with real estate agents as well, and potentially trying to get a better deal if you've got that approval in place. So.
It's fun and games when you've got to negotiate with the old real estate agent. And especially, as you said, when you know your numbers and you know what you can bid up to, bidding with confidence is a huge part of it, especially when you're trying to negotiate with agents coming across in that manner. And a lot of clients would turn around and say, so, I've already been pre-approved from my bank for $500,000, and we'll ask them for confirmation of such, and they provide us with a piece of paper that at the end of the day isn't a real pre-approval. So talk to us about what a real pre-approval means.
Exactly right. So yeah, one of the major benefits of having your loan pre-approved with Financepath is that you've actually got a senior credit manager who's assessed your application, looked at your financial position, and then made a decision. We also have in-house credit approval authority with one of our major funders, up to $2 million. So again, you're actually getting that confidence that you can go out there and your loan's been pre-approved.
Yeah, it's a huge fund, because those bits of paper that will sometimes, the reason why a lot of the banks will issue those pre-approvals, they're just issuing them to get the client off the market. But the reality is those pre-approvals, when you read through the conditions of the pre-approval, it'll be subject to assessment of the client's financial position. So it's in essence just a bit of paper that says that if the information you've given us is accurate, then you can get a certain amount of money. But they haven't actually looked at it. So to Gabe's point, we don't issue pre-approvals unless we've actually assessed the deal. So it gives clients a bit more confidence.
And the only condition you really want outstanding with these approvals is your valuation, satisfactory valuation. So everything else should have been assessed, and there should be no other main outstanding conditions.
Our business is unique. The Financepath business is unique. We're a mortgage manager. There's not a truckload of them out in the marketplace. And one of the key points of difference is that we have in-house credit managers. So we've got Gabe and we've also got Dennis within our business. You talked about delegated underwriting authorities, which is great, fancy, but can you share with, I suppose, the audience what that actually means? What's the benefit to our business of having you in the business that other broking businesses, for argument's sake, don't have the benefit of?
Well, first of all, we've got an in-house approval authority with one of our major funders of $2 million. So that allows us to get real-time answers in a timely manner. If we can't make those decisions in-house with some of our other funders, then we have direct access to a credit team. So we're speaking the lingo, credit to credit. So I think that's a real positive as well.
And they're a different beast.
Correct. Yeah, we do talk in different lingos. So it is important that you've got that credit to credit conversations being had, and they can rely on our expertise and experience that the information we're giving them is accurate and has been fully assessed in line with the lender's requirements.
And just to explain that a little bit further, like as a mortgage manager, we've got a number of funding lines, so where we get our money to sell our Financepath products. We've got 3 funding lines and we've got 3 product ranges. So whilst we have an underwriting authority with one of them, even for the other 2 that we don't, as Gabe said, he's got strong relationships, and Dennis has strong relationships with the decision makers if they're not the decision maker. For me, I reckon there's an even bigger benefit for our clients out there. Talk through
one of the other key benefits is really being able to workshop the deals with our credit advisors. So again, having those first-hand discussions and giving them the assurance and the confidence that we're going to be able to get this deal through. And so that allows them to report back to their clients and give them hopefully that positive news.
Yeah, it's huge. It's that certainty of decision. The last thing you want as a client is to go and complete an application and feel like you're hitting and hoping a little bit. And there's numerous stories of clients that end up getting their application sent to numerous lenders because the broker didn't necessarily get it right the first time. So, when you've got a Financepath credit advisor that comes out and speaks to you, if you can feel confident. Nothing's 100% guaranteed, but if they're coming to you and saying, hey, this is my recommendation and this is the application form, you can feel comfortable and confident that there's a better chance than not of that loan being approved because they would have already workshopped it with the decision makers.
Another key benefit is also turnaround times. I think one of our clients' biggest bugbears is that it can take many weeks to get a loan decisioned. Whereas
at the moment with the banks, it's taking up to, we even have to speak to our brokers in Blue Mortgages, it's taking upwards of a month from time to time. How long does it take you guys to get us a decision?
We'd like to think that more often than not that we can turn our loans around in 72 hours. Now, there are going to be times where we can't do that, but we'd like to think that we can turn around any decision within a week, absolute maximum. And that might be because there's delays with getting certain paperwork that we need, or something comes up in that application that we need to clarify. But for the most part, we'd like to think that we can turn them around in 72 hours, which is a real positive in today's market.
And if a decision, correct me if I'm wrong, but if a decision can't be given within that time frame, the credit advisor and therefore the client will have an understanding that there's been an assessment done and what needs to happen for a decision to be given. Yeah,
that's one of the biggest keys. We pride ourselves here at Financepath on the communication to our clients. We like to keep them involved in that whole journey. So at every interval, they'll get regular communications on where their deal's at.